the God Squad you've always wanted. InstantMuttCoins.com. Instant delivery, cheapest prices, 24/7 support. Use code CC, 15% off. EA tax 10% is covered. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are back. More Madden 20 news now. I know I'm not first. Again, that seems to be a theme. First off, not first because I'm actually one to think about it. It is not a race. It's a race for a lot of people. No shots, but it's just I want to make sure that I say things correctly, and I'm trying to give you guys the best possible information and my thoughts with actually some thinking around it, so that by the end of this video, you are much better off and have a better understanding than you would if you didn't watch the video. Let's look on the screen. Muttstream tonight dropped a lot of news. A lot of things will sound really exciting. Some things won't sound really exciting, but maybe they are. We're starting out based off of the gameplay streams last week, dealing with Superstar and X Factor abilities. So we were wondering if they were going to be completely overpowered in Mutt. It does not appear to be the way. You can obviously add abilities the same way through trainings and power-ups. Okay, so that's not going to be anything crazy here. If you look at this particular card on the screen now, obviously it's work in progress. Things could change. Beard in the mic. This Aaron Rodgers is not powered up the way that it shows on the screen, and he can still get abilities, so we'll see where that lands. I know there was a problem early in Mutt 19 with that. But for abilities are going to be given out based on archetypes. What's an archetype? I'll get to that in a second. Each archetype will have a set of abilities that you can use or pick from, right? So for Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get Roaming Deadeye, a lot of the accuracy ones, Gunslinger, Conductor, stuff like that probably. Whereas a Michael Vick with a different archetype is probably not going to get some of these things. Additionally, you can only have 3 on offense and 3 on defense players, 3 offensive players, 3 defensive players that can be getting these X Factor abilities. Now, what does that mean? It's pretty big. When you come to think of it, that there could only be 3 people on your defense with Secure Tackler or Tip Drill or Out of My Way this year. Think about it in that way. Or you can't have everyone with Secure Pass Blocker. You can't have everyone with Energized, everyone with Playmaker. It's a huge, huge, huge change, and I'm kind of a fan of it. I'm one of the people who said that I think the ability should just go away. And this takes away 8 of them, or 8 people from having them on the field at each time. So there's 16 less people with abilities. That's a hell of a start. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. But it is going to bring a lot of strategy into it. And if you want to know the best strategies next year, there's only one place. Honestly, there's only one place you can come, and it's right here on this channel. So just for that, you should hit the subscribe button. Just for that. Because if you guys have kept up this year, we run the Best Team in Madden series every week. I've done multiple series on the chemistries and abilities. I will do all my research. I will figure out what is good, what is bad, what you need, what you can live without. And I will do it on a very, very high level because that's the way I play. So getting into archetypes, we mentioned that word previously. An archetype is essentially a build. If you guys have played NBA 2K, you know what this is. They're essentially limiting factors, right? So for someone like Tom Brady, right? His archetype, as they mentioned on stream, would be something like Field General. Really, really good passing stats, not very mobile. Right? Maybe Michael Vick has an archetype of Scrambler, where he's going to be really fast, and his passing stats are actually going to be kind of limited. What this means is twofold. 1, the abilities they can get, and 2, their actual ratings. So by devising brand new overall system calculations for each archetype, it means that we're going to get different things. For a quarterback to be good in Madden, they have to have good throwing stats, right? For a scrambler archetype now, for someone to be a 90 overall, their throwing stats don't have to be nearly as good. So does that mean that Vic is going to be less effective? Maybe, if accuracies and all that truly hold up, ratings wise. But think of the same thing on other positions, right? Where receivers, if you're a slot receiver, that you may get someone pretty early on with high 90s short route running or really high catch in traffic, but their spectacular catch or their deep route running may actually be pretty low. So you're going to have to actually use these players, hopefully to the best of their ability, assuming that ratings do matter. They mentioned also on defense that doing this with linebackers, and I thought that was kind of a poor choice of an example personally, because we see linebackers in the game, someone like Lawrence Taylor, right, who can do everything pretty much, right? And he's always going to be highly rated. It's kind of like the Bobby Bell issue, where he's a 99 in the Madden 19, but his card sucks. So what it means is that they would be able to say, okay, well, he's not rushing the passer. We can actually take his pass rushing stats down, and then this means that we can actually boost his other stats. So maybe it'll work out really well. Maybe it won't. But you're not going to get a lot of really, really balanced guys. There are probably going to be balanced archetypes. So keep that in mind. We don't know what the archetypes are. Looking forward to seeing what they are, and I hope that that's information that it comes out before the game so we can really research it. But it's a big change in theory. It's a much bigger change in regs. In MUT, as the year goes on with ratings, the archetypes won't matter as much outside of the abilities, in my opinion. Because essentially at a certain point, cards, you can't keep upgrading things unless they start going over 100 on stats. Then that is good. Let's move on. Solo challenges are done. They're done. They're still there, but they're called ultimate challenges now. And essentially what it is, it's missions. Is the whole format of it. So what a mission is versus a solo challenge is tiered reward structures. So when you play a mission, if you guys have ever played the skills trainer, you can get like bronze, silver, gold in that. Here you're essentially getting 1 through 5 stars is essentially what it is. 3 stars for beating the challenge on hard, 2 for medium, 1 for easy, and then there's bonus conditions as well to get a maximum of 5 stars. Those 5 stars then go into a pool of stars, which give you rewards tiers. So here's a milestones reward right here. Tier 1, 2,000 coins, 200 training. Decent little example there. And then there's other stuff here. It was there was a lot of stuff on the screens that wasn't really explained. I don't want to be misleading. But here's another look at the reward structure. So it's 5 stars, 10 stars, 15 stars, etc. You can see how it sort of maps out. The end goal through each of these challenges is obviously get to the best reward. Now, what they did mention as well is the best reward is not always going to be at the end, right? So if there's a possible 50 maximum stars, maybe the best reward, the card reward is at 40 stars, and then there's an additional reward at 45 and 50. That sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Do you guys think that sounds familiar? I do. Let me think if I can find out where I've seen that before. Oh my gosh. Look what we just hopped into. This is MLB The Show. If you guys haven't seen it before, they have what is called moments. Madden has missions. If you look through MLB The Show, very similar sort of standout here, you go through and you pick these standalone things. Just think, your mission is this. You go in, you pick these, and you get rewards based out of them, okay? Well, how does that really work? Well, let's show you. So here is their entire list of ways you can earn stars. They actually use stars as well, right? And then you go along the rewards tiers here as well. In MLB The Show, once you get to 300 stars, you get to pick the best reward possible, but you can keep gaining rewards going forward and on and on and all that. So they sort of, you're using that same idea. Yeah, they're using that idea. But again, look, there's ways to complete some of these challenges. They're not some. You get stars from head to head, solo battles, all that. It's kind of cool. I don't mind it that you can actually pick and choose how you sort of complete your solo sequence, we'll call it. So it may not necessarily be a grind. You have to play all these solos all the time to get to the very end. I don't want to play 20 full games. You don't have to do that, probably. Right? Is that all I got? I feel like that's all we sort of got there. So a couple key points too here as well. What that means is that solos will be different. You can play solos with someone else. They would be co-op then, which is, I think, is the reason why they're not calling them solo challenges. They're calling them ultimate challenges. You can have a friend playing with you. It's kind of cool. Will I do it? Probably not. Maybe you will do it. There was the talk about using it to broaden your Madden experience. I played solo, not solo, squads, house rules when they had this before against the computer. Super boring. Hopefully these are different. One key thing that they can do with this as well is they are building everything out, and this has all been a long process with house rules and solos and all that. They are now bringing in possible, I want to make sure I say this right, end conditions is what I think that they call them. And what it means is that there could be a house rules event next year, because house rules is coming back. It was confirmed, where you loot first person to get a field goal wins, or college football overtime, stuff like that. A lot of really cool ideas. Now, I thought house rules maybe was one of the best things we had all year. Clearly, in my eyes, it really was. I know there was a lot of people that didn't feel that way. That's weird. That's just bottom line weird. Sure, we got a lot of reused goals, right? 1st and 5, 1st and 20, 2-point conversions worth 8, long touchdowns worth more points. I get that they weren't always unique, but the rewards were really good. So I'm not going to complain. It was still an enjoyable time. I believe that they're going to do more with house rules next year, and I believe that they're could even go and do other events. While house rules is a very cool idea, what I would like to see brought back in as well are different types of events in the game. Now, I know MLB has events as well, and I'm not talking about that. Just different ways, maybe even for Weekend League, to be a little different. Mutt Draft, just to be a little different at times. Don't call it house rules, call it something else, because house rules sort of has its own sort of foothold right now. But being able to do stuff like that, it also means that they could effectively, which is going to be great. I know Savage, if Savage watches this, I don't know if he's thought about this, they can put end conditions in the game. So if you are up 28 points and have the ball, a game could end and you wouldn't have to play it out. Beautiful. I hope they do it. That is big. Solo challenges are interesting enough. There wasn't a lot of other information. There were some other questions asked about stuff with 19 and tokens. No definitive answers, right? There's no reason to speculate when we have no idea on that stuff. Now, we didn't get as much information as I would have liked, but what we know is training is back, power-ups are back, abilities are back, solo challenges, half dead, you can now play them with a friend, whatever, and the limiting of abilities is really going to be a really, really good thing in my opinion, because it's going to bring out so much strategy, and I love that. I love it. Now, what we need to go forward and think about is the best way that we can actually go through and attack these things. We don't know enough. We don't. In my opinion, while Jake explained things really well, the menu system looked really convoluted. I know that this missions was a way to bring everything together, to give everyone a central starting point and an access point throughout Mutt. It looked really cluttered and didn't really show much of a path to me. I'm sure there's saving clicks, and speaking of saving clicks, there's the next solo challenge, which is cool. Get yourself a PS4 Pro, PS5 Pro, Xbox One X. Your solo challenge load time is minimal anyway. But I don't know, because a lot of people are going to be focused up on some of the really small details that we see, like on the screen here. Tier 4, 15,000 coins, 1,500 training. That's not going to be it. It's going to change. It's going to be a lot less. Because if you have to think that one solo is 5 stars. So, in essence, this one, I believe that the highest tier, tier 10, screenshot that they showed went up to 50,000 coins. That's playing 10 solos on a hard level. And you're getting 250,000 coins. Like, that's not going to happen. It's not. But I do want to get more information for Mutt. I hope we get more as well. Like, it's nice to get this information early, but I also feel like we just got like step 1 of 10, essentially. We don't got to show me all 10 steps. Just give me like 7 steps before the game launches. Let us find some stuff on our own. Hell, send me the game early. Well, why not? I'll have everything ready for everyone. But that's about it. I don't want to take any more time. If you guys want to go watch the stream back, I would go watch it back as opposed to reading the notes, because there's a lot of information that I think you can just sort of learn, and you'll see the flow a lot better from them, but with the EA polish on it. So go back, Twitch, EA Madden NFL is their channel. Go watch it back. Go give Jake a follow. Go give Jake a follow on Twitter. Jake's my guy. I love him. I do. Krayla's my guy too. I love him too. Despite the whole coin sponsor thing. Still love him. I'm out.